Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. It is Laura Whittle MUA. It's been a bit too long. I didn't get to finish my Halloween series because I got sick with COVID. I'm nearly back to my usual self, so I'm back filming, but this time it's going to be the festive season and today's look is based on mince pies. And if you want to see more of my looks and creations, please subscribe with the little red button below and hit the bell notification to be told every time that I upload. I will be completing my Halloween series on fears and phobias after Christmas. So if you want to know how to do this look, stay tuned.
So I'm going in first with the PLouise Oh So Browtiful in the shade Mochacchino and starting off with the pencil. I'm carving out the underneath of the brow by defining that line and then going in and filling in the tail. Now drawing a line on the top of the brow but stopping about halfway and then drawing individual hair strokes all the way through the brow to get rid of any sparseness and then adding in vertical lines at the front of the brow to add hair strokes. Then going in with the Mochacchino brow gel to set them in place and to add more definition to the natural hairs. Going in with the spoolie on the other end of the pencil just to brush all that through. Now taking the PLouise base in shade 2 on the base brush and defining that underneath of the brow, firstly drawing a thin line all the way under and then patting that all over the lid. Just carving around the top of the brows now to neaten them up and finishing patting that lid. Taking a peach and cream fluffy eyeshadow brush and blending all that out over to the temples and into the inner corner and onto the nose. And doing the same on the other side and then in the centre of the brows to make sure they're all perfect. Now going in with the PLouise crisp finish in shade Smoking Hot using a PC07 pencil brush from Peach and Cream. These are really small detail brushes and they're great for getting in those creases and packing on shadow. So I'm using the tiniest amount of the paint to begin off with and patting that in before blending it out in circular motions, blowing that shape out towards the temple and towards the brow. I start off with a small amount and build the intensity slowly by adding slightly more product. Everything I do, I repeat on the other eye. Now I'm going in with the BPerfect Cosmetics and Stacey Marie Carnival XL Pro Palette and heading in there with shade Intuition first on another Peaches and Cream PC07 brush and pushing that product towards the outer half of the lash line into a V shape in the outer corner and into that socket and then blending it right into the socket all the way along the eye and pulling it out in a winged out smoke. Once I've packed that product in, I use small circular motions to blend it into the crisp finish paint. And then I'm going back in with that paint in Smoking Hot just to get that transition all blurred and perfect. And packing back in the intensity on the outer corner with Intuition. And then going in on the bottom lash line. Going back in with Smoking Hot. And then cleaning up those eyes with the remainder of the base that's left on that PLouise brush. And then I'm going in with that same brush and cutting that crease with the PLouise base in shade 2. Using slow patting motions and patting that base on. Then going in with shade Pillow Talk from the Carnival XL Pro palette on a flat eyeshadow brush and patting that over the base. Now taking shade Intuition again and blending those outer edges into Pillow Talk so you get a seamless transition. no harsh lines. Now using the House of Lashes black glue and some Ttd Eye holographic glitter all on that top lash line. This is fiddly and takes a while. I'm using a pair of pointed tweezers to do so. I wanted the eyes to reflect the insides of a mince pie. And then applying a piece of the holographic foil glitter onto that inner corner too. Now starting on the base, I'm applying the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter in shade 4 on the high points of my face, so where I would apply my highlight usually, and using a Morphe stippling brush to blend that in all over. This just gives a really nice glow through any foundation. Evens out any skin tones and makes you look healthy. Now going in with the Barry M Chisel Cheeks kit and using the Cool Tone Brown on a Morphe contour brush and cream contouring my face. I like to cream contour under my foundation just to give a base shadow, and it means you have to do just as much blending as you would if it was on top of the foundation. I'm blending that in like upwards motions, and I'm not blending it towards the corner of my mouth but the tip of my nose to give the face a lift, which can make you look younger rather than your face looking dropped. I'm blending that right up into the hair so we don't have a white ring around the outside of my face. Just blending that on the very outer edges of my jaw to give a sharper jawline, and then under the lip to make my bottom lip look plumper. Now I'm going in with the Fenty Filter Matte Foundation in shade 190 and a Peaches and Cream PC05 brush, and patting that in one area at a time. I do one pump on one cheek and it does the side of the nose up into the hairline, and then I do the other side of my face, and then finally my forehead. This is a quick drying foundation, so you have to work quick, which is why I only do one area at a time. And then doing the forehead. Using a little bit extra in areas I need, so underneath that contour just to give a sharper line, and down the neck. Do the same on the other side. You can see even though this is like a medium to full coverage foundation, you can still see that contour through it. So I'm going back in with the PLouise base in shade 2 and using the PC10 brush by Peaches and Cream to buff that under eye out. I'm using this as a full coverage concealer and pairing it up with the base we applied earlier under that eyeshadow. This is great for really high coverage airbrush finish to the base. Apply it down the sides of the nose and then down the bridge and the tip of the nose. This provides an even stronger contour than if you were just going to apply like brown tones on the side of your nose. I'm really patting that in to get that perfect airbrush effect, and I'm going right underneath the eyeshadow to make sure it's all looking perfected. Go back in with one of the eyeshadows and just pulling that right out towards the temples. And sharpening that back up again. And then doing the centre of the forehead. The chin, smile lines and Cupid's bow. Now I'm setting all that in place with the Studio Fix Powder Plus foundation by MAC in NW20. This is lighter than my foundation shade. I like to use this to really give an airbrush finish under the eyes and anywhere that I've used like a concealer to highlight. And then using an angled face brush from Eco Tools and the NYX Contour and Highlight Pro palette in shade Sculpt to powder contour the areas that I'd previously cream contoured. This is a really cool tone, so it provides a really great shadow. Now I'm going in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Powder Bronzer in shade Cappuccino to bring warmth to the face. This is using a fluffy Eco Tools face brush and applying that slightly higher than that contour. I apply it everywhere where the sun would usually catch when you've been on holiday to bring that warmth to the face and a nice glowy skin. Now I'm using the basic base from PLouise in shade Pretentious Peach on a MAC stippling brush and patting that onto the apples of my cheek and my cheekbones, the tip of my nose and across the forehead lightly. You need the tiniest amount of this product to use it in this way, and it is so pigmented. And resetting the under eyes and round the mouth. Now time for highlight. I'm using shade Gold Lux from the Carnival XL Pro palette on the small highlighting brush from Peaches and Cream. I'm using round circular motions again for this, on the cheekbones, on the tip of the nose, on the bridge of the nose at the top. Cupid's bow. And then I'm applying the Maybelline Colossal Extreme Volume Mascara in black, coating those natural lashes and bottom lashes too. Now going in with the MAC Lip Pencil in shade Spice and slightly overlining my lips. I apply it to the white line around the blush part of my lips, so the outer line. So it's a natural overline. And I do have a sharp Cupid's bow. I like to keep that rather than overlining that. I'm drawing lines on the bottom lip and on the top lip to make them look more voluminous. And then I'm going back in with a Primark Beauty matte liquid lip. I'm unsure what colour this is, but it's like a cool tone brown with, I think, purpley undertones. We'll come back to finish off the lips a little bit later, but we need this to set. Now I'm using some Sweet Tooth lashes. This is a local indie brand and they're available to buy on Etsy. I'm using Style Cupcake and these were gifted to me. I'm using the House of Lashes glue in black to apply them. And then just going back in with some eyeshadow, make sure everything is still seamless. Now for the fun part, time to depot your mince pies, decide where you're going to place them and then take out the innards. Apply some spirit gum to your forehead and then build a wall around that area where the mince pie will go with some latex and some cotton wool. This just gives it some support because the weight of the mince pie is quite heavy. I put my mince pies in half for this look and then I'm applying latex over the top of the cotton wool. So I've removed the mince meat out of the mince pie and instead filled it with latex and cotton wool, so that is lighter and will stick to my face better where the spirit gum was laid down prior. Going over that spirit gum area with a bit of latex, I feel like it wasn't sticky enough, and then I've now applied the mince pie, and I dried that latex for quite a while with my hairdryer. As you can see, I'm filling the other half of that mince pie and sticking it all down with latex. My latex is from Neil's material, and I just use an old paintbrush that I don't want or need for my latex because it totally destroys it. I'm just adding in some extra support around that top mince pie because of the gravity pushing it forward. I felt like I needed some extra support there at the front so it didn't fall off. Now applying the latex to the chest where that mince pie is going to be placed, and then at this point the latex inside the mince pie has become tacky. I'm applying spirit gum over the edges of this mince pie just to seal it in and make sure it has some support so it doesn't split apart, and then adding in support structure with some cotton wool and latex as I did with the one on my head. The one on my chest doesn't need quite as many pieces applied, just a few around the corners. And then you're going to go back in with that hairdryer. I used it on a really hot setting, which you'll notice my chest is red in a minute. And I'm going in with the Mayron Paradise paint in white on a Essentials by Samantha Helen brush. And I'm painting that mince pie just like you've just poured double cream or single cream over it. And painting over all that cotton wool as well to make it look like areas that have literally been poured with cream. And creating some drip marks. And doing the same with the mince pie on the chest. After I'd cut these mince pies open, I had coated them with one layer of latex overnight so that they had a bit more support to them and it clears dry, so just bear that in mind as well. Just going back in with some more of the paint and adding more dripped areas. And now opening my PLouise Holla Gloss and applying that to the centre of the lips. Removing the hair grips and giving my hair a little zhuzh. The look is complete. So if you love this look and want to give it a go yourself, please tag me in your creations, and if you don't already, please subscribe and click the little bell notification to be told every time I upload. If you don't already, please go follow me over on Instagram, it's Laura Whittle MUA, and the same over on TikTok. Thank you for joining me and watching my tutorial on creating this glam mince pie look, and Merry Christmas! See you in the new year.